What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now this video is going to be a little bit different from my previous videos. It's going to be more of a tutorial or advice to my fellow realtors out there in Ontario, and that is how to update your MLS listing. Now I know as a realtor you know how to update your listing on the MLS system. I'm talking more specifically about updating your listing and keeping everyone posted on the acceptance of a preemptive offer or the acceptance of an offer, a firm offer on the presentation date in the case where you're waiting for the deposit. Now I mentioned it in other videos and I'm going to mention it again, but without a deposit or consideration, any offer that you receive on your listing is not legally binding. Meaning they can offer $3 million for your one-bedroom bungalow, but if you do not receive that deposit to your listing office, that offer is not legally binding and therefore you do not have a contract in place. Now the reason I'm bringing this up is because there have been quite a few cases now, especially in 2020 and early 2021, where a highball offer comes in on a property, the sellers accept it, and then on the next day or 2 days later, no deposit has been received by the office and you can't get a hold of the buyer's agent. But that sale price has been published online. And that has resulted in a couple of negative things happening. Number one, you're probably gonna get a fine from your real estate board because you legally did not follow your duties and obligations. Number two, you're potentially shooting your seller in the foot and leaving some money on the table because now that is public data that other buyers can use to their advantage. Say there's a high paying buyer 4 days later that was willing to pay $20,000 more for this property, but now knows that your seller is willing to accept $20,000 less. So they're going to use that to get that property for a cheaper price. Great on their behalf, but for you, representing the best interests of your seller as a listing agent, you're potentially leaving money on the table. And the upside to that is hyperinflating prices in some neighborhoods, because if a bungalow is worth $600,000 but this highball offer paid $700,000, now the seller has it in their head that their property is worth $700,000 and the properties around it might think that, oh, this one almost sold for $700,000, ours should be worth $700,000 as well, when in reality they're worth a lot less. But regardless of all that, the reason I'm making this video is to save you some time, because we recently had a situation where we accepted a preemptive offer, and for 3 days following that I kept getting calls saying, hey, what happened with the offer? Is it still available? What's going on? What's this? What's that? The reason being is because we didn't update, as I'll show you how to do here, in the listing saying that we accepted a preemptive offer. It still said that the presentation date is April 6th. But since we couldn't change the status of this listing to sold conditional until we had the deposit recorded with our listing office, and we just so happened to accept it on a Friday on the Easter weekend, so the buyers only gave us the deposit like they could have on Tuesday, we had to wait for all those days, and for probably 2 or 3 days afterwards I got 4 or 5 calls asking what's going on with this listing. It was a townhouse listing, so it was super hot. But I had agents calling me asking, you know, what's the status of this? Is it still available? All these different questions that spent a little bit of time, right? It interrupted my day. And with this quick little tip and update that you can do on your MLS system, both on the Barrie Real Estate Board and the Toronto Real Estate Board, it's gonna save you, I don't know, probably 20 to 40 minutes. And this isn't just gonna save you 20 to 40 minutes, it's probably gonna save time to other realtors as well, because clients see these listings as well. And if you have a presentation date on a certain day and then 3 or 4 days later there's still nothing updated, it's still showing as as active because you're waiting on the deposit or whatever it might be, the clients that may have been interested in this listing are going to text their realtor and saying, hey, what's going on with this listing? This realtor is going to take time out of their day to check the MLS listing on the system. He's not going to see any updates, so he's going to call or text you to find that out. You're going to then text back, then they text back to them. But in any case, the first place that any realtor is going to check for a status update of your listing is on the MLS system. So by doing this quick fix, you're actually saving yourself time and other realtors time, making everyone's day a whole lot better. And before we click into it, if you're new here, what's up? My name's Andre. I'm a real estate agent here in Ontario servicing Barrie and the Simcoe area, and on this channel I make real estate related videos like this one. So check them out if you like it. Also drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on this video. So this is actually a really simple fix that I saw some realtor do and I said, you know what, that's genius. So we started doing that for all of our listings, and I see other agents doing it as well. Some are still not catching on. I have to physically text them or call them to get any type of information, but it's really simple. We're going to do the Barrie Real Estate Board first and then Toronto one in case you're on one or the other or potentially on both. So I'm going to throw up my screen here. Up here you'll see it would say active listings. We had to change this one to conditional because we did get the deposit, and within getting the deposit, or there's a certain, you have 24 hours within a certain time period to do things as well. So within 24 hours that you get the deposit, you do have to update it as per your real estate board. So you have to do it. I couldn't push it off any longer, but it would just say my active listings. You come over here, you go to add edit, come down, it would say A instead of C for active instead of conditional. Then you go down and you just go quick edit. So it's cool that you don't have to open up, like when you open up to load up a system, there's like a bunch of buttons and different things like that. This one's super quick. They made it super easy. You just come down here. So in our private realtor remarks, this is just what realtors see. We usually put in additional information here. This one is obviously what goes on realtor.ca. So be careful with what you type there. But this is just for additional information for realtors. You just go like this: accepted offer, waiting for deposit. And now, when a realtor gets a text message from a client or is just curious to know what happened on your offer following the presentation date, because we had a change on the 5th and we had the presentation date set, where is it here? We had the presentation date set on the 6th. So once they go down here, as soon as they open up the homepage, this is what they see: accepted offer, waiting for deposit. That's gonna let them know all the information you need to either get back to the client or any update on the listing without legally disclosing any information on it. In this case, it is for a conditional offer, but we're talking about doing this for firm offers because it is a done deal, right? Once you get the deposit, you publish the final sale price of the property. After that, there's no conditions. They can't walk away from this deal. It's either closing or you go to court because they didn't close. So that's just a quick tip to do it. Let everyone know the update, what's going on. Again, if it's over the long weekend, you have those days, you're not getting those calls because the agents are coming down, reading this and saying, okay, you know what? There's an accepted offer. They tell their clients whatever it might be. They're just waiting for the deposit to update it and you're good to go. Now let's hop into the Toronto Real Estate Board or Toronto MLS system, and I'll show you how to update it from there. Now, a while ago when I made my video on the potential all the boards merging, this is what I was talking about on the two systems having two different interfaces, two different processes, all these different things. I personally like the Barrie real estate system a little bit better. I think it's more efficient and a little more appealing to the eye, but this is how the Toronto one looks like if you've never seen it before. Now, I used to edit my listings by going to add edit, and then when you go to edit listing, it would ask you to get the MLS number. So I'd go to MLS, my listings down here. I would then have to click on the listing, go down, take that MLS number, and then go back to add edit, go to edit listing, and then you do this. And that's one way that you can edit it from there. There's a faster way, which I don't know, I just found out recently about. I don't know if I'm just slow on this, but when you go down to my listings, you just click check here and you go edit. So there's two ways to do that, and then it just takes you right back to what you saw on the other one. In case you didn't know that, that's how you were editing your listings. You now know how to do it just a little bit faster. You go to edit listing details. And again, same, like unfortunately the Toronto system doesn't have that fast kind of quick edit version, so you got to go through all the data that you got to put in. This is basically how it looks like when you put up a listing. And then when you go down here, remarks, brokerages, same thing. We'll do asterisks, accepted offer, waiting for deposit. Perfect. Submit. And there you go. And now for every Toronto realtor that looks at this property or is waiting for an update on this property, they simply go down to the brokerage remarks like last time and they see accepted offer, waiting for deposit. Again, if it's a firm deal, that lets them know that you will not be doing any updates until you receive the deposit, which will be the next business day. And there you go. It's as simple and easy as that. Work smarter, not harder. You probably just saved yourself at least 15 minutes, especially in this hot market of an agent calling you or texting you or emailing you, or someone just finding out information about a property after you have passed the presentation date or if you accepted a preemptive offer. All the while making the lives of other realtors easier as well, because they can also save some time by not having to wait on your response to do it, and you're overall just one step closer to dominating the real estate market. And that concludes my tutorial. Let me know if you found it helpful. Realtors, let me know if this is something that you get peeved about when someone won't get back to you on the status of an updated listing. And maybe as a consumer, you now understand kind of the unnecessary process that sometimes you have to go through just to get information on a listing. Make sure to check out some of my other videos before you head out, and I will see you in the next one.